We're back with more Nerd Radio.
Roger me, will call me, anything. Hello, Earth.
And now, back to the nerds.
What are you so entertained by over there?
Oh, I'm just, for anyone listening to the podcast and did not check out the Twitch stream live at robliefeldfeet.com, just the way that James was really like showing some gratitude to Chuck for being one of his early supporters on his Twitch channel, and in the middle of James like thanking Chuck and giving him this genuine gratitude, he started the production to rejoin the show. Just like, that's enough out of you.
Well, to be clear, I was more of a flex, saying I was one of the first ones to support Chuck's channel.
Yeah.
And I have that icon, and I was just flexing that, like, hey, I'm one of your first adopters, bitch. And then he played the.
But to me, it was so funny because it was in the middle. Like it was probably just one of those like, we're in between. Let's get the segment started. I don't think it was intentional, but it was just so funny to me.
You were just telling me before the mics turned on that you wouldn't mind if the show was shorter.
That's true.
I'm trying to get you out the door as soon as possible.
Thank you so much. Oh God, no, delightful.
Yeah, that's the garbage.
Oh man, the wind's blowing in that snowstorm.
Yep. So yeah, I'll hold off on spoiling anything for you guys. So let me take notes here. So James, you've seen the end of Hawkeye.
Hawkeye, I'm good. Boba Fett, I'm good.
Boba Fett, you're good.
Matrix, I'm good.
Sweet. So the only thing I gotta not spoil for you is Spider-Man.
Spider-Man is the only thing I haven't had a chance to get to. Was on the list, but my wife doesn't want to see it, so I'd have to go see it by myself. She's not a Spider-Man fan.
Wow.
And I'm like, you know what they're saying? This is the prequel to the second Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
She does not give a single F. She
Wow.
just looks at me like...
So funny because you and I have the exact opposite experience at home because
Yeah.
Spider-Man's the only one that Whitney's like, we should go see that. But she does not give two Fs about comic books. She was kind of into that Constantine. Remember I got her, we bought that Hellblazer thing. Yeah, she read like half of it and she was like, you can have this. And just she was done with it. Just didn't even read the whole trade. And she likes Batman, but that's about where it ends for her.
So what you're saying is I should call your girlfriend to see if she wants to go to the movies.
Well, you can be our third wheel.
Right.
I think you'd be the third wheel. You don't want to. Well, you don't even want to go.
Well, I want to go to see that one. But the problem is, like, you'll be our third wheel for one movie. I got to be your and Cody's third wheel for all the rest of the movies. Because Whitney doesn't care.
Right.
Cody, I don't know if we go to the movies and we let anybody know, Al's going to send me a text if he can come along. So.
Right.
Shh, keep it hush.
Don't post on Instagram that we're at the movie theater right now, because if Al finds out, he's going to be real upset.
Don't check in.
I'm just gonna single white female my way into your projector room.
We're like there. Al's like, I've somehow I was able to use your Find My iPhone, and I realized you're at the movies. And then I checked the listings, and I saw that there was a showing of the Doctor Strange 2. So can I sit with you? Actually, I bought my seat right next to you guys.
Seat, yeah, it's right behind you guys, like 2 rows up, but right behind you.
As I'm reclining, my head's going into Al's crotch.
Yeah. I'll just wait till he goes to take a dump at work and just share his location with me.
I knew there's something. Is either Find My iPhone or location stuff. So, my wife showed me that when this is maybe a funny story. This happened in the summertime. I got into a huge argument. This is not Nerd Radio related. I got into a huge argument at a local home improvement store.
Yeah.
Over a weed whip that I bought that I used like 3 times, and it stopped working. So I called them up. I lost the receipt, and I called them up, and they're like, "Bring it in. There's no problem. We can look it up according to your credit card." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I do all that, and they pretty much treated me like I was trying to pull a scam, like I was some sort of common meth head, and I like let them have it. Like I exploded in this customer service area, customers around, store managers around. Like I made a scene, and then I went to my car. I found the receipt. So then I came back in, and I made another scene to return it.
This is classic.
I like that you doubled down.
I did.
After you found the receipt. You're like,
mad.
No, you know what? I'm going to make it even worse.
I have never felt like treated with such disrespect in my entire life, the way they treated me that day.
Well, to be fair, you probably should have worn more than your man thong.
Well, you know what? I was doing yard work, and I'm not going to go put on a fancy outfit to try to exchange my weed whip.
All right.
But anyways, I'm on my way home after all this. My adrenaline's calming down. And I'm looking for my phone.
Oh no!
And I can't find my phone anywhere. So I'm like, I left it at the home. I left it at the home improvement store. I left it at the home improvement store. Hopefully DMX will cover that up.
Yeah, he will.
I left it at the home improvement store. So I'm like, they find that phone. They have everything.
Yeah.
They're gonna know it's me. They're gonna throw it. They're like, I'm effed. So I like sped home because I'm like, I just gotta turn it off.
Yeah.
Like I just gotta turn the phone off. It's essentially stolen now. I'm gonna say it's a stolen phone. I gotta turn it off. I'm driving so fast.
You're just burning that phone.
Dude,
It's over.
Yeah,
It's done.
my house is on like a couple of dirt roads. Like the city deemed
It's like
these
Duke's a
roads
hazard.
aren't worth paving. So I'm like fishtailing in my car, trying to get home. I'm driving so fast. I get home, I slam the car in park. I tear everything apart in my car to see if I can find it. It's not there. It's not in the back. It's not anywhere. I'm like, I left it in the shopping cart. It's got to be there at the home improvement store. I run in the house and I tell my wife, I'm like, how do you turn off the phone? How do you turn off the phone? How do you stop the phone from working? Here, I was a real a-hole. I was such a big a-hole to these people. I feel a little bad about it, but they disrespected me so badly. And how do you turn off the phone? And then like she went through and like she said something up and she's like, your phone's in the car still. Or whatever, and she went and found the phone in the car. So then she taught me how to set up like something on my phone, and it must have been like share my location stuff or something.
And for anyone listening to this story, and maybe they've heard you talk about some of your customer service interactions on Dave and Chuck the Freak, I will say, as somebody who has shared an office with you and done production, and I've been firsthand witness to your encounters with customer service. Speaking directly to the listener now, and if you have any doubts about James's customer, imagine your worst ever encounter with customer service. Add 10, multiply it by another 15, and that's every single encounter James has.
I feel like if I was working someplace and I saw James come in, I would be like scared.
I'm super nice.
I've heard
I'm
it.
very polite off the get go.
I've heard it on speakerphone. Like I've heard the other end of the conversation. I've heard sometimes just James's half of the conversation. I've heard it escalate to that point, and he just has the worst luck when it comes to that stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's uncanny. I don't understand. Like it's one of those like, of course you had a bad experience at the DMX store.
Right.
You know? But it's real. It's a real thing, and I don't understand. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And like just for me, because I've worked retail, I've worked customer service for a long time. I'm gonna be your most ideal person to bring an issue to you. Because I'm coming from your perspective. I've dealt with that.
Right.
But then when you give me some crazy, weird, out-of-this-world reasoning why this isn't possible or this can't happen.
Like if I was working customer service and you came in for whatever reason and I was like, I understand your problem, but policy says that I am not allowed to do anything about it. Does that set you off? Or
Well,
are you like, no, I get it.
It would depend
there.
on what the policy is.
Right.
I'd be like, well, that's
a
policy
dumb
doesn't
policy.
make sense.
Yeah.
Can I talk to a store manager?
Sure.
Oh, there is no store managers. Okay, so who can I talk to that's a higher authority than you? Oh, you can go online and
Go online and email them and let them
I
know.
need to get this resolved here. Like,
Right.
This doesn't make sense. Whatever. I feel like I'm not being unreasonable. So if it was like a policy that's reasonable,
Right.
I understand.
But most of the time they're not.
Yeah, but it's like you can't return this because
Like somebody is above you, and James wants to talk to that person. He wants to talk to like the head of marketing of Taco Bell.
yeah, and I do.
Over $4.
It was $7, and I do. On Twitter, we have a whole rapport. Trust me, I can show you the 2 different times he sent me $10 gift card codes just to get me to stop messaging him about the issue I had at my Taco Bell when they told me that they could only make 3 items.
He'll go
per car.
straight to the top for $7.
I used to, when I was younger, I used to be, especially when it came to fast food and getting my order wrong, I used to be that person. Like I once threw my order at the window of a Burger King.
Oh my
because they
God.
got it wrong.
Wow.
Like I looked, the burger had
Chuck.
something on it. I was like, bong, and just drove away. But now, over the weekend, I was trying to get like my flu shot, and I went to a place that said, yeah, you can get your flu shot at this time. And then I got there and they're like, oh, your insurance doesn't cover it. It's going to be like $45.
What?
And I could, instead of making a scene, I was like, well, that's not happening, but thank you. And just left. Because, inside I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
but
And currently now,
it's
too,
not their fault.
my tolerance is much, maybe higher.
Yeah.
My tolerance is much higher for some of this stuff. I'm trying to give everybody the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
But the thing that set me off in the summer was the fact that I was on the phone.
Yeah.
And I laid it all out to this guy. who
And they were
worked
like,
there.
yeah, sure.
I said, I bought it at this location. I've used it this many times. I know I bought it in this month, which was like 2 months ago. And I've listed everything that I've gone through. And I even told him I went through self-checkout. There was nobody there at the self-checkout, so I didn't realize there was a security tag, so there's still a security tag on it.
Sure.
That's fine. He's like, we can track down the purchase or the sale using your credit card.
Right.
We'll find all that information out by using your credit card. And then when I showed up, they didn't even want to use my credit card.
Was
So
it the
that
same guy, or was it some guy that was like
No.
off in 5 minutes?
No, it
He's
was
like,
like somebody
yeah,
who
it's
was off
fine.
in 5 minutes because they're like, we don't know who answers the phone.
Yeah, it's
I'm like,
fine.
you don't know who answers the
This
phone?
is-
It's like, anybody can answer the phone here?
This
you
is
can't
somebody
track
else's
down that
problem
guy?
now.
Makes me wonder if it was like a like a corporate
Well, he answered,
customer service or whatever.
hey, this is such and such location.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
that's
you know,
different.
so,
because
you
I was
know.
gonna,
Hello, this is Steve.
yes,
Yeah, it wasn't a situation like that. Like,
a further example of how James has this uncanny ability to find himself in these situations. I went through the corporate route, but I dealt with customer service for the exact same company, and I complimented them because I have dealt with them like 3 different times, and they have provided the best customer service I have
James
ever
just has
received
bad
in
luck.
my life.
Have you ever tried when you know that's like, oh, I got to return this thing? Have you ever tried just giving it to your wife and just be like, can you handle this? Because if I handle this, it's going to be a disaster.
no, because I know she's going to tell me to get effed. No, I'm not going to go over there and try to return or exchange a used weed whip. It's not my fault. You used to tell me a crappy thing that breaks after using it 3 times.
But like she knows.
She is both so good and awful for you at the same time sometimes.
Yes.
Because like you need her because
Well, I think I'm more of a bad influence on her. It looks like people are flooding the chat with their customer service nightmares.
yes.
But not the route I wanted to go down. But I had to share the story about my breakdown.
you know
like,
what?
In the summer.
screw it. This is fun. Let's
What a great topic.
yeah.
But now I can hear her on the phone. Like I've heard her on the phone with like a delivery company,
Yeah.
and I'm like, she's turning into me.
Oh,
Turning
no.
into me.
Oh,
and there's times when
no.
I just kind of sneak in the room and just kind of like, calm down. It's gonna be okay. This is not that big of a deal. You're freaking out way too soon. Like you got to give it more time before you freak
Give
out.
it a little more time.
You know?
Before you got to pull that trigger.
Yeah. So now I think I'm influencing her in a negative way in terms of customer
no.
service stuff. But then there's also times where she'll be on the phone with somebody and I feel like she's being too polite.
Yeah.
And then you'll hear me in the background like,
Tell them to cancel it! Tell them to pull the box right out of the house!
Yep.
We're done! I'll go across the street and I'll pay them double for worse service!
you know. So it's funny, but now I feel like I'm more of a negative influence on her in terms of that. But there's times where I feel like they're disrespecting my wife, and then you hear me go off in the background.
Right.
There's one time she put me on speakerphone too,
That's amazing.
because I think I was annoying her with my screams of stuff.
All right. Well, I've got a couple of news stories that cannot hold that I definitely wanted to tell you guys about this
Too
week.
hot to handle.
A little too hot to handle. A couple of them are some of the free games that you can look forward to this month.
Sweet.
Obviously,
Maybe some free games.
you've got the PlayStation Plus service and you've got the Xbox Game Pass going on and stuff like that. Well, this month, January, the Xbox Game Pass is bringing you a couple of games, including in January 6th, the Mass Effect Legendary Edition that came out. That is all 3 Mass Effect games.
Okay.
That's going to be on Game Pass. Yeah, Mass Effect. Al's not great with Mass Effect.
Not a Mass Effect fan, huh?
It's so funny. This goes back to the Jefferson days.
does.
Okay.
We did a whole segment of I'm looking to play a video game. What should I play?
Yep.
And Jefferson, we did like 20 minutes on it, and it got down to like Mass Effect was his #1 recommendation. And
Yep.
I ended up buying like all 3 of them, and they even told me this is like Godzilla versus Kong all over again.
Yeah.
It's like the original because they told me like the first one's not great. Just skip
Start
right.
at 2.
Start at 2, and I was like,
2 is one of the best games of all time.
I
Start at
can't
2.
do that. So I started playing the first one, and I had a great time for a little bit, and then like it just stopped having a good time for no reason.
Yep.
It just abruptly, and I was like, I'm done.
It's funny because Mass Effect is a widely suggested game.
Yeah, it's
I'm sure it's
back
great.
from the days when we were in the Checkpoint XP studio and some of the team that was on there.
Yeah.
That was their game. I believe
yeah.
this Mass Effect was the game.
If you're going to play that style of game, a BioWare game of some sort, Mass Effect is the one to play, specifically Mass Effect 2.
Yeah, and I know when they re-released it, those people, that I was doing a show with, they were back into it. Like, they loved it. And I was like, how many times have you played this through? And it's like dozens of times.
Wow.
The whole trilogy.
Well, I'm sure.
Like, how do you have that much time to play that many games that many times?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's top notch, but you got to remember too. The highlight of Chuck's week, I just wanted harder lady bumps.
Yeah,
It's true. It's very true.
give them those lady bumps.
So yeah, there's some other games that are going to be they're bringing to Game Pass as well. Outer Wilds and Spelunky. I may splurge on Game Pass this year.
Yeah, actually, I signed up for it.
I don't have an Xbox, but the fact that you can do it on your PC as well.
Yeah.
And there's so many games
I don't think
for
people
such a
realize that.
good subscription. Like Al, you had the PlayStation Now service, which is essentially what Game Pass is.
Okay.
Xbox
All
Game
right.
Pass, but you can access it on your Xbox or on a PC.
You can do that
play it.
for PlayStation Now as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's fascinating. There's talk too that they're actually going to fold PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now into one service this year to compete with Game Pass because Game Pass
that'd be
has
smart.
been so successful.
That'd be smart on Sony's part.
It would be.
Yeah.
They did drop that price quite a bit. It was $100 for the year, and it went down to like 60 or 70.
Yeah, and I know Plus has been like $60 a year
Yeah.
the whole time I've been subscribing to it. I'm really happy I'm subscribing to it this particular month though, because the games that they're bringing out for January for PlayStation Plus include Persona 5 Strikers, which is the Persona 5 sequel that's kind of like Dynasty Warriors, where you're just running around and beating up mobs and mobs of people.
Every time I see that title of that game, I think it's a soccer-related game.
It
I
does
feel
sound
they've
like a
taken the
soccer game,
characters
doesn't
from
it?
Persona,
Yep.
and they're putting it on the soccer field, like the Mario Super Strikers or something. There's a
Right.
GameCube soccer game.
And they're putting Dirt 5, which is I think the dirt racing game.
Is that like dirt bikes or like?
I think it's like Funny Cars.
Oh,
or,
okay.
And Deep Rock Galactic, which is the dwarf game I told you guys about last year that I played on
That's
PC.
why I saw something about that being free.
Yeah,
and
I think
was
it's
like,
already on
something
Game
rang
Pass.
a bell, and I'm like, I don't know why this game rings a bell,
Yep.
but it does. Now I got to look that up again. Deep Rock Galactic.
Deep Rock
right?
Galactic. Yeah, it's a lot of. I think you would especially have a lot of fun if you got some people in your community, in your Man Thong Mafia, to play it together.
That's what I'm
It's a
looking for, too.
It's a 4-player game, and everybody takes like a different character class. You can play the same character class, and then you go and you mine for crystals and shoot giant spiders, and it's a good time.
Is it free to play?
I don't think so, but I
Okay.
think it's on Game Pass if you check it out. I know it was on Game Pass a couple of months ago. I don't know if it's still there. That's the only thing that's weird about those services is they can pull games off of it.
Yeah, because I think they're
Yeah.
taking away PUBG. PUBG's coming down off of Game
Right.
Pass, and another one I forgot.
Like
what it
it's
was.
essentially Netflix for gaming.
Yeah,
Like,
that's-
you
exactly.
might you might be having a good time with something and then wake up to next month and like it's not there anymore.
Yeah, and sometimes it seems like the bigger name games are the ones that are only up there for a very limited time. Because I've seen that. I've gone on the PlayStation Now.
Yeah.
And now it's, you can download a bunch of them.
The new God of War is on PlayStation
Right.
now. but it
Yeah, and
won't
so
be
I'm
for
like, oh,
long.
cool. So like I download it to my console, so it's a quicker load or whatever, and then I come back later and it's locked.
Yeah,
Now.
it's those movies last year they put on HBO Max. One of them, like a horror movie, was on there, and I was like, oh, I gotta watch that, and I waited too long, and it was gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Well, when they put them on HBO Max right off the get go, they're usually only there for 30 days.
Yep.
Right.
And then you got to wait for them to go through the digital release cycle.
Yep.
And they'll put them back out again.
Speaking of which, Ghostbusters already digitally released.
Really?
Ghostbusters
Well, that means
Afterlife.
it'll be available to stream soon.
Yep.
I wanted to see it again. I never had time to get back to the theater to see
Me
it
neither,
again.
but I know that when I have access to it, I will watch it multiple times.
And I know
Had a
I'm
good
probably
time.
not going to drop the money. What's it, $20 to watch it digitally? 20,
Right.
$30? I'm
Yeah,
not
no,
going to spend
it's-
that. I'll wait until it comes out. And I'll probably end up buying it.
Yeah.
Like, they did a good job with it.
Also, a rumor that's going around is that a game from the Nintendo 64 that we all loved, a game that you were hoping was going to be part of that Switch service, might actually be coming to the Xbox.
It's going to be on the Xbox? What?
Somebody found screenshots for achievement picks for a GoldenEye 007 for the Xbox.
I want all the achievements.
Yeah. So, and the people who originally made it, Rare, were bought by Microsoft years ago and are part of the thing. So all they got to do is get the James
Stars are
Bond.
aligning.
If they can get the James Bond license for however much that costs, they can redo GoldenEye and put it on the Xbox.
Nice.
Yeah, so that might happen. That'll be pretty cool.
I'd probably go back and play that. Would you play a remastered version of that game?
I would.
I would. Too.
I still have my Nintendo 64 cartridge for it. I have a Nintendo 64, and I think I have 4 cartridges for it, and GoldenEye is one of them.
That's awesome. I
'Cause
can't remember what I did with my Nintendo 64. I think I probably gave it away to a sick kid or something.
Yeah. Yeah, me.
How crazy would that be if you had?
Yeah.
You have the Legend of Zelda Golden cartridge too?
No, I sold that last year.
Oh,
because it was a lot of money.
Was it really?
It is.
Oh, you're breaking my heart. I don't want to hear anymore. You're breaking my heart.
It would be crazy if it turned out that sick kid was Chuck.
Yeah.
Number one, he's older than you, James, and James was like, "What? You were supposed to be dead!"
Yeah. Well, no, I sold my Sega Genesis.
I was
to
sick.
to a
That
sick
was.
kid.
I just wasn't a kid.
Yeah.
I just shaved.
She turned me into a newt.
I go back.
I got better.
I found this story too. You know, you were looking for PlayStation 5s last year at one point, weren't you?
Yeah.
Do you know why you couldn't find one? Because Shaquille O'Neal bought 1,000 of them.
Oh.
He donated them over the holidays to a bunch of sick kids.
I can't be mad about that. That was last year?
Oh yeah, this over the holidays.
Oh,
Here.
okay. Well, I got one
the
this
holidays,
holiday.
yeah.
I'm in possession of one. I
So
just
you
haven't.
Donated 1,000 PS5s and Nintendo Switches to underprivileged kids.
Okay, good. Well, those
That's
kids
cool.
probably deserved it more than I did.
Yeah, good
so,
for them.
You
but-
know.
Damn it! I don't have a PS5. Oh well.
Come over and look at mine.
As far as movie
Time you
news,
got sick again.
yeah, I guess so. And maybe James will give me his PS5. As far as movie news goes, I don't know if you guys heard, but the Morbius movie with Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Is-
It's coming out like this month, right?
Nope. It's the release date has been pushed back by Sony once again to let me see here. July. It was originally set for July of 2020, then it was March, and then it was October, and now they're saying it's not gonna be January 20th. It's gonna be April the 1st.
So do you think they're trying to fix some special effects stuff? Have they finished filming it? Like, what do you think?
Without
They're trying to
spoiling
find
any,
a strategic moment to release it?
without spoiling anything from Spider-Man, because they play the trailer when you go see Spider-Man, which is
Okay.
pretty cool. But without spoiling anything from Spider-Man, I think they're probably looking to add some Spider-Man people to it.
Oh, okay.
Just to be like, all right, this really worked for this Spider-Man movie, so we'd better follow suit and actually like
Well,
fold
that
this into
excites
continuity
me,
a little bit.
Because I feel like that means we're leading the way towards the Maximum Carnage theatrical release.
Maybe
That would be cool.
you'd hope so. It certainly wouldn't be anything like your graphic novel, but there is talk that Carnage will return, even though I don't think either of you guys have seen the Venom movie.
No.
But I don't know how.
Okay.
After the end of that Venom movie. So yeah, Morbius getting set back, getting the New Mutants treatment. And the final thing I had for you, and I don't think this is too much of a spoiler, but there is a rumor that the finale for Boba Fett, or as I like to call it, hold on, I wrote it down. I actually asked Amy last week, do you want to watch the documentation of Robert Fettuccine? And she was like, what? I was like, that's the long form of the Book of Boba Fett.
That's funny.
Oh, yeah, sure, let's do that. The rumor is they're bringing Harrison Ford back for the finale
Oh,
to be Han Solo,
that'd be cool.
kind of like they did with Luke Skywalker, which means it's probably like it'll be a CGI'd version of him.
Which
Like,
makes
maybe
you
the-
wonder, is it going to be him like trying to deliver? No, wait, no, because he wouldn't be in the carbonite anymore.
No,
This is a flashback scene.
right? Because it's
I don't
after
know. Do we even know when we are in the timeline?
post Return of the Jedi.
Okay. Well, it's both. Yeah, both Return of the Jedi.
'Cause you look
he's
at-
already.
Because this happens
Thought, yeah.
after the Mandalorian season 2, and the Mandalorian seasons firmly solidified themselves as like the Empire has fallen, and the Alliance is trying to set up a government now, a galactic government of some sort.
Holy cow! Well, yeah, I don't want to because I know Al hasn't seen.
Right.
I haven't
Boba
seen
Fett.
anything yet. Yeah,
So I'm gonna have questions I need to talk to Chuck off about.
that's strange.
especially within how things fall within the timeline.
Right.
So it's definitely post Return of the Jedi, but he took over Jabba the Hutt's palace.
Yeah.
So how far after Return of the Jedi
Right.
is this taking place?
Well, we can get into that next.
if I can leave.
Which means Al can check out early.
Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, we can almost need to call this segment something like an Al-free spoiler segment or something.
Right.
All spoilers, no Al.
I am a fan of this. Been campaigning for it since day one.
Oh, you
I
know
have
what?
so many people to thank.
Okay, so I've got a couple things, and then you're gone. You're out of here. The first thing is I teased something on the last episode of last year that I never got to, which is typical me.
Mm-hmm.
But I discovered last month that you can take your PlayStation 4 controller and Bluetooth it to your phone to play games.
What?
Yes,
On your phone?
on your phone.
That's sweet.
Because there's the Final Fantasy Fortnite essentially that came out. It's called The First Soldier. And I tried playing it with the controls on the phone. I was like, these are bad. I don't like them. And I said something on Twitter, and somebody on Twitter was like, you know, you can Bluetooth your PlayStation controller to your phone and then, or whatever you're playing it on, and then it's like, it controls way better. I was like, what? And
That's crazy.
Yeah, I did a Google search. You have to like hold a couple of buttons in order to unlink it from your PlayStation so it doesn't turn it on. And then you can like go in your Bluetooth on your phone and link it to that. And then you can fucking play games on your phone with your controller.
Very cool. I would love to play it on my phone with
Valiant Summer says you can do it with Xbox controllers as well.
Oh, nice.
Because they're all Bluetooth stuff.
I've had issues with the Xbox controllers syncing up to other devices.
Yeah. So yeah, there was that. And the other thing was I had a comic last month that I wanted to tell you guys about. It's an Image comic. It's the 4th issue has come out. It's going to be a 6-issue series, I think. But because Image Comics don't do second printings now, it's a little difficult to find. But it's called Primordial. I've got it here. And the reason I wanted to bring it up, it's written by Jeff Lemire, who I'm not a fan of, but the art is by Andrea Sorrento. And a lot of it, you look at like these pages, reminds me of the Hawkeye book that I love so much that David Aja did. But it's about during the space race, the Russians sent up a dog and the Americans sent up like 2 chimpanzees in a shuttle, and they never heard back from them ever again. And all 3 of those animals have discovered life out in space.
That's an interesting story.
So yeah, if you could find it at your local comic store, I definitely recommend you check it out because the art is real neat. And even though I'm not a big Jeff Lemire fan, I like the hook.
That reminds me of something that I just want to throw out there and put in your brains.
Okay.
So, did you know that Forrest Gump was based on a book?
No.
Yeah. Okay. So it was a book first.
Okay.
And it's a little bit different than the movie. Like
Really?
some stuff is similar.
What else did Forrest do that they didn't put in the movie?
Exactly. He has so many more adventures. Okay. And I've been super into audiobooks because, I've been listening to a whole crap load. And so I listened to Forrest Gump because it's one of my favorite movies.
Right.
That son of a bitch goes to space.
Forrest goes to space?
Forrest goes to space.
Now, there's the sequel
and
I want to see.
There's a sequel book too, by the way.
You're kidding.
Yeah, it's Gump and Co.
Lieutenant Dan, in space you don't need no legs.
Yeah.
There's zero gravity.
Yeah.
I like the space ice cream here, Lieutenant Dan. You want some more spaceman ice cream?
Yeah, but it reminded me of it because he gets sent to space with a chimpanzee, or it's an orangutan.
Okay.
That he gets sent to space with, and they send him up. They're supposed to send him up with a female orangutan named Sue.
Okay.
Because they're just more calm than the males.
Right.
But they accidentally put a male in the ship, and it starts freaking out during the space flight.
Right.
But the male orangutan that ends up adopting the name Sue, which was supposed to be the female orangutan.
Yep.
And Sue becomes one of his friends. Like he
he
has adventures with Sue.
Does he come back from space and meet Johnny Cash and tell him about a boy named Sue?
No, he doesn't.
That would be the perfect tie-in for it all.
Because what the hell?
Yeah,
man?
but no, he encounters cannibals.
In space?
No, after he gets
right.
back, they land off course and they get captured by cannibals for a number of years.
Wow.
He becomes a chess master. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. But it was good. It was really good. And it's different enough from the movie that even if you've seen the movie, which I'm sure we all have, you can still enjoy the book.
Yeah, Hotspot Huntress in the chat says the book was nuts.
It was crazy. It was so crazy. I loved it though. I thought it was great. But
That's great.
Anyway, just the chimpanzee in space thing made me think of
made you think
Sue.
of Forrest Gump.
Yeah, I bet you. Who said something about the book being nuts in the chat?
Hotspot Huntress.
Hotspot probably never would have thought that Forrest Gump book would have been brought up in a conversation.
They put me on a giant rocket ship to send me to space.
Well, he's gonna go to prison if he doesn't go on this space trip.
What did he do that he's going to prison?
He threw his medal and hit like a officer.
Yeah.
I hit Lieutenant Dan's.
Yeah. Oh, and him and Jenny bang for half of the book. Like they're in a legit relationship, and he's got a hog down to his knees, and he's just banging her 6 ways from Sunday.
Of course he does. Isn't that always the way?
Ah, cool. So
Jenny
anyway,
always said I had a gift.
So you guys are gonna let me go now after I just dropped that bomb on you.
Thanks a lot.
It's the L-free spoiler segment on the way.
Looking forward to naming this episode Forrest Gump's Giant Hog.
Right into space. I wonder what space was like for Forrest.
Wait, I gotta hold on. Oh damn it! I'm not on YouTube yet.
The Apollo 13 movie.
Forrest Gump is up in space, keeping himself busy singing, and comes up with, "I don't want to close my eyes. I don't want to fall asleep." Spacehog.
This is a jam. I love the song.
This song is great.
It's a great song, but
Yeah.
Forrest Spacehog.
Forrest Gump Spacehog.
I'm glad Al played that. To me, that's another one of those calming songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great song.
All right. Well, you guys have fun with your.
All right,
spoiler
yeah, we're gonna talk
conversation.
about what
Get out
is
of here, Al.
Boba
We're gonna
Fett,
talk about
the
Boba
Matrix,
Fett and Hawkeye and the
Hawkeye.
Matrix.
Yep.
I don't think Chuck's gonna like what I have to say about the Matrix, though.
Yeah, maybe not. We'll see.